So have you ever wondered whether it's possible to give Warhammer a more prolonged Grand Epic campaign feel? Not just the always aggressive, flip settlements every turn, game all but won by turn 50 feel that it currently has? I think everyone would agree that in vanilla Warhammer the best strategy is a race to gobble up territory from the very beginning of the game, with the downside that the toughest challenge is at the very beginning and the outcome is usually not in doubt by mid-game. But is there a way to make settlements tougher, strategy more meaningful, battles less arcadey, and ultimate success much more in doubt well into the late game? That's what we're going to find out, by trying a few mods which look like they'll completely transform the pace of the game. First up is minus 50% campaign movement. I got this idea by reading some of the comments about the recent IE expanded campaign map, which places settlements far enough apart that they're often more than one turn's movement range apart. I wondered if we could accomplish the same thing on the vanilla IE map, and I suspect this one simple mod will have the biggest impact of any of them. We're also going to use Longer Battles mod and Andy's slower movement, which affects infantry units. These I'm hoping will make the battles develop slower and give more time for tactics like flanking to develop. Added to that are slower ladders for siege battles and scaling buff for garrisons, which gives defending garrison armies bonuses that range from small to significant depending on the tier of the settlement. And speaking of garrisons, we're using Oldie's garrison upgrades and a mod where military recruitment buildings add to garrisons. The hope is that we won't be seeing settlements all over the map flipping every turn. Taking a settlement in a Total War game should feel like an accomplishment. They should be less frequent, much more difficult, and more of the brutal bloodbaths that fit the Warhammer theme. There are a few others like the Babysitter mod, but we'll get into those while we're playing. That's enough talking for now. I think it's probably worth saying, though, this slower-paced game is not going to appeal to everybody, and in fact, I'm not really sure how good of a video series this is going to turn out to be, but I think it's worth the experiment. So we're going to try this out with a race that plays kind of slow anyway, and also a faction that I haven't played in a while, so I'm kind of excited at the chance to play him again, and that's our friends the Dwarves. And of course Thorek is one of my favorite Dwarven lords, so let's give this a shot. I think this will be a good test of all of the aforementioned mods, and we'll see how it goes. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and make sure our settings are okay. I'm a little bit tempted to delay the end game crisis, but I'm not going to. We'll just see how it works.
In King Cazador's name, I will unearth the lost relics of our ancestors and bring glory to the Dowie once more.
Okay, so what we're going to see right away, I think, let me just go ahead and click through all of these grudges. I believe, if memory serves, there is a grudge for every single artifact that I have to, artifact piece that I have to, no, it's one per artifact. Yeah, okay. For every artifact that I have to reforge, and then also, obviously, the engage the enemy. So, and let's go ahead and take a look at what our runesmith is here. He is Ancestral Blood Grungni. I have a very hard time saying that, which is not great, but it's good for campaign, but not really for battle. But I'm going to go ahead and put him into the army. By the way, I use Cinematic for... Let's take a look at this camera settings. Oh, no. If I remember how to do this. Okay, yeah, Cinematic for myself, low for allies, medium for enemies, high for neutrals. Okay, so let's take a look here at Carrick Zorn, and as we see here, we are getting a little bit of a garrison from our military building, and additionally, I think, presumably, I haven't done the comparison, but presumably this will ultimately be a stronger garrison with the regular settlement building, and 13 units at tier 2. I don't remember for sure if that's more, but I'm going to assume it is more than what you normally start with. So it's a little bit, well, we can tell if we look this direction. This is the complete extent of how far we can travel at normal speed, unless we are doing the fast march, which means we can't even traverse one entire province. That's more like half of a province that we could do there. I'm not going to actually switch it because I'm afraid it would be hard for me to switch back. But yeah, if we do march, that's how far we could make it. We're going to be able to get as far as attacking our enemy here. And let me just really quickly, I don't remember exactly what he's got, but I think he has an Arachnarok spider in there, and that's going to be a challenge, but we can handle it. So while this is loading in, let me just see here. Let's go ahead and put a banner on our catapult there, our grudge thrower. He's got five cav units. Against dwarves, that's not great. And an Arachnarok spider. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I am by no means a real pro at Warhammer 3. I think I'm an okay player, but obviously there are far better players and far better YouTubers out there when it comes to Warhammer 3, and I'm fine with that. And of course, a couple of the mods that we have are going to be affecting this battle. Our infantry is going to travel slower. We've got the slower combat going on. I think those are the main ones. Have slower replenishment for after the battle. All this is going to hopefully work to create the theme of a slower campaign. Again, not for everybody, so if it's not your thing, then you're probably not going to enjoy this series, this video, and that's perfectly okay. Let's go ahead and get our basic setup here. I may, you know what, I might as well just go ahead and assume that the cavalry is gonna flank me. So why don't I go ahead and prepare for that and get my warriors. I can always swing them around if for some reason they're not needed. Let's of course get Thorek and my runesmith out there. And let's see how this goes. Okay. Let's get him in a slightly better position there. They are coming towards me. Catapult can hit them. Let's get these guys in guard mode, not in skirmish. That's good. Cav is already going to be working on flanking. That's fine. I'm going to thin out my front line here. Let's go ahead and get... These guys are going to obviously have to focus down the cavalry. What's he doing? Let's get the catapult firing at... Let's have him hit the archers, because I'll forget to change them later, probably. And I don't really want him firing into their front line when their front line is engaged with me. Okay, the Cav flankers are all ranged. Interesting. Okay, so they are... No, they're not all ranged. Those riders are not. Or are they? No, they're not. They're not ranged. They're just standing there. Interesting. An interesting strategy. Oh no! Wait a minute. Yeah, only one of them is ranged. Okay. Let's go ahead and engage here. Alright, we are going to have to... Let's get... Okay, so we got the... Those archers are breaking, or at least wavering. We need to get some focus fire on that Arachnarok spider. Thorek is doing okay, but not great. Not good, not good. Need to pull these guys back. Need to get that cav taken care of so I can get my Coralers back to shooting at the Arachnarok spider. Yeah, these are not the best units to be dealing with that Arachnarok. Let me go ahead and get...
Find your targets! Strike out! Vengeance!
How we doing here? We can get it. Another rune activated. Let's get those guys broken. Hurry up and get those guys broken, please. This is good, actually. Let's go ahead and get the Arachnarok engaged on some actual melee troops. That'll be good. How's Thorek doing here? Not great, not great. I do not like using cheese tactics. There is a balance to be achieved between good strategy and cheese, and sometimes it's a little bit hard to walk that line. Okay. If we can break these guys, which are shaken now, that'll be quite... Oh! Not paying attention to Thorek. Okay. That is not good. Would definitely not be very good for me to lose Thorek in the first fight. How you doing there, Thorek? You're doing okay. Let's get, let's get the Coralers shooting at... Okay, there we go. That's good. Those guys are shattered. Those guys are broken. I'm going to ignore them for the moment. Thorek ought to be coming back in here eventually, presumably. Let's try to get my... There we go. That's good. Anytime you want to come back in, Thorek, I would appreciate it. There you go. Well done. We got speed and melee attack. Let's get the armor boost here. And for you, nothing to do right now. Let's keep the Coralers firing at the Arachnarok spider. Let's go ahead and get Thorek into the back there. Let's go ahead and get the grudge throwers firing at those archers. See if we can break them. My iron breakers are doing fine. I think the the cooldown on the runes is reduced because of the slower combat mod. Let's see if we can break them. Let's see if we can pull these guys back a little bit and keep the warriors engaged on the Ragnarok, and keep on them, keep on them. Oof. Victory is in our grasp. Okay, pretty difficult combat for me, but I think we are going to pull through without losing any units, and that is the important thing, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to take their first settlement next turn anyway. I know I can't take it this turn because I just simply can't reach it. I don't think there's any chance I'm going to be able to kill the hero. I'll try to, but let's get the warriors out of the way. Get him. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Is he taking any damage at all? 1830. They're just going to end up getting shot. Why are you not? Oh, you're out of ammo. You're out of ammo. You're firing, but yeah, it's just not going to happen. Okay. All right, well, the important thing is winning. Got pretty dinged up. There will definitely be an adjustment period while I get used to all the changes that I've made to this campaign. This was probably one of the easiest fights because I don't actually have to worry about this army again, despite not finishing them off. I will need to remember, obviously, that the Ironbreakers should be the backbone. They are the... Well, the warriors did a pretty fine job as well. The great weapons, Longbeards, are a bit more fragile, which makes sense. I only lost a few of the Quarrelers, which is good considering they had a melee unit in their face for a big part of that combat. Now, because I'm not going to be able to go into their territory anyway, well, do I know that for sure? I don't. I'm going to take the Oath Gold and the gold until I know whether or not I'm going to be able to reach.
Thorek,
I cannot reach, okay.
come on!
Alright, no problem. I have not quite enough Oath Gold to make any runes at this point. That's fine. What do I have here in Karak Zorn? Gonna definitely want more money. I'm not gonna level up my barracks here because I'm gonna switch that to a minor settlement.
Ready?
I will go ahead and increase my... This is ever more important now, and considering the mod that slows down campaign movement. And let's go ahead and do a rune of speed with him. Talisman of Preservation is going to be good for him, for Thorek. It's all good. And we need every warrior we can get. Let's go ahead and get... I'm so glad that they made this change where you can get the student from regular flow of researching instead of having to turn off research every turn. That's just so immersion breaking. Okay, in terms... Obviously, I'm going to want to get better Quarrelers, but since I'm not going to have access to them right away anyway, think I'm going to go for beefing up my warriors a little bit, making them a little bit cheaper to recruit. Not obviously any slayers that we can get just yet. And I'm going to go ahead and get another... Yeah, I can afford it. Get another lord up. He's pretty good. I'm going to go with him, yeah.
Let us begin.
Tecton Damon, okay. And you, we are going to see if you're going to be able to get up there next turn. I think you probably will be able to. Diplomacy-wise,
It is
not really going to be anything to do on turn 1. Probably should have checked before my army got all beat up, but it is what it is, and obviously can't do anything. 15, yeah, okay. Alright, let's go ahead and, as long as they don't start recruiting there, they've got 9 units, we ought to be able to take that next turn. I'll just have to hold Thorek back for the one combat. And of course, my replenishment rate is at 50% of normal. Should have paid a little bit more attention to that, but obviously, what do we got? We got a chance to confederate Karakazul, that's right, okay. Yeah, so obviously we're not really getting very much back per turn, which is hopefully going to create that slower campaign effect that I was looking for. He's going to be able to reach. Let's go ahead and... He's got... Now he's going to be up to 12 units. I've got 12. We're dwarves, they're greenskins. We can definitely win this.
scores to settle.
Ready. The throng agrees for the wisdom of Valea.
So obviously, it's going to be a less aggressive campaign, but you can't not be aggressive at all.
Axes and hammers.
Yeah, he's at this point. I need to get him rested. Let's go ahead and take care of this. They don't have any scary units like the last fight, other than their hero. Alright, we got a little bit of high ground here. Let's go ahead and get our most damaged units out of the front line. Go ahead and get these guys up front. Get him on the flank, perhaps.
Ready to aim. Runriki.
And how are we doing here? What's our range?
Vengeance begin.
I could actually pull back a little bit. Let's do that. I kind of like having that rock formation there, but it's probably not real essential in this fight.
Chuff to.
Let's get him on guard mode. Let's get him firing at the archers, because again, I will probably forget to change that later. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Switch them to these archers since they're not in the trees, or at least not as much in the trees. Okay, quarrelers should start firing now.
Warriors! Pick your targets well!
They do not have a melee unit superiority, so I'm actually going to charge. And
Anu! Runes of spellbreaking. Ha! Aye!
I'm going to trust Thorek and the other beat-up units to handle the flankers here.
War of vengeance! Longbeards! Ironbreakers!
If they want to flank right into my...
Thorek,
That's a problem right there. Not well done.
unloaded. The runes glow. What? Vengeance!
Longbeards! Warriors!
However, luckily my
Rongosh!
Correlers can hold their own.
Grudge!
However, my grudge throwers are getting a little bit dinged up. That's less than ideal, but it won't last long.
Move now! Dwarf warriors!
Try to stay on those cav if you can. What did I lose a unit? No. Yes. Yes, my grudge throwers broke.
Warriors! Fire on the foe!
It's unfortunate, but it happens.
Hearth and home!
Ready to serve! Warriors!
Okay, so the slower combat definitely is having an effect. It's definitely slower.
Targets well! Kazook! The clans unite! Have at them!
Let's go ahead and try to get
Thunderstruck Lord!
that flank collapsed. We've got the grudge throwers here back in action. Get them back on the catapults there. Let's go ahead and break him off. Let's go ahead and shoot
Dull!
with our quarrelers. That should keep them broken. Let's go ahead and get these quarrelers turned around.
There's wealth and skill. The anvil's might.
How are these guys doing there? He's shattered. He's coming back into it. I hope they charge him. And never mind, that was slightly premature. Okay, let's go ahead and get him turned around.
By Grumney. Our fire undimmed.
Let's go ahead and get him shooting at him.
I've ready.
Let's go ahead and get
Shoot the weather!
some quarreling done on their boar boys. They won't take long to break, I don't think. And the grudge thrower,
Moving out! Get
let's go ahead and fire at them. Let's get him back into guard mode.
War of vengeance!
Completely forgot about my lord.
Warriors!
Man, look at how much slower the infantry are going. That is definitely going to have an impact on battles, no question.
Thorek Ironbrow.
Whether it's exactly the effect I wanted, I don't know, but I do like having battles that aren't decided in a few seconds. Okay, we got almost everybody broken except
Anu!
the
Range in target!
let's keep the grudge throwers going at their archers. Let's get everybody else over here on the unbroken units. Where's the... Oh, there he is. Definitely need to pay a little bit more attention here. Okay, let's get
Get him out!
Let's get some arrows on him just in case we can get him down, but I don't think we're going to be able to. He has 3,200. Don't want to risk firing the grudge throwers at him. 3,100. Let's go ahead and speed this up. 2928. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Keep shooting. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, going to be taking the settlement anyway. That's good. It's a decent enough first 2 turns, I think. Okay, so terrifying Mask of E. Okay, we'll take it. A little bit of experience, a little bit of money. Most importantly, let's go ahead and occupy Lost Plateau. Got a couple of ranks. Encountered Numas Dynasty. Okay, let's go ahead and get... I don't think any of these are a priority right now. Let's go ahead and get his yellow and red lines going up a little bit. Not really any blues for me to worry about with the runesmith right now, not while I am intending to use him in battle primarily. There may be a time where that changes, but for now I need every able-bodied dwarf to be in battle.
Time for a reckoning. The axe thirsts for war.
Okay.
Rune Lord,
let's go ahead and get him recruiting a little bit more. I'm going to be running low on funds if I keep going with that too much longer, but for now, let's go ahead and get some growth. Just really quickly, I'm going to take a look at the garrison building here. So, 2 warriors, 2 slayers, 2 quarrelers at tier 2. At tier 3, 2 longbeards, great weapons, 2 ironbreakers, 2 quarrelers, 2 thunderers, 1 organ guns. Definitely more powerful. And then the regular settlement, 4 warriors, 2 quarrelers, 1 minor blasting charges, and 1 longbeards. Additionally, if I build barracks, we're talking about 1 longbeards, great weapons, and 1 quarrelers with great weapons. Okay, so tier 3 is going to be, if the dwarves are any indication, it's going to be plenty difficult of a garrison to take on. Obviously not for a major army, but it should slow down map-wide all of the constant turnover of settlements, and at least make me and the AI think twice before just launching reckless assaults with half an army on settlements. We now have 15. I can go ahead and do, I think I'll do some character runes here. Melee defense is a good option, maybe. Ward save of 4%, I'm not sure that's really. 6 of one, half dozen of the other, I guess, but let's go ahead and get my...
Summon me if you dare.
My lord's melee defense up a bit. That's going to help a lot, actually. 72 melee defense for my lord. For Thorek, 52. For now, I'll go ahead and give it to him, the runesmith, but I will probably take it from him when I have another melee hero or lord to give it to. I am beefing up my recruiting. Let's take a look here at the standings. We're at 98. Arachnos is all the way down at the bottom, but I might be able to hurry up and take Mount Arachnos, but by the time I get up here, he'll have a 20 stack probably, as well as the garrison to have to deal with. So let's go ahead and just really quickly make sure that there's nothing diplomatically to do. There is not. Let's go ahead and advance to turn 3. Now there may come a point in time where I do some auto resolves, but probably going to be pretty rare. I just find that I enjoy the game more if I'm doing the battles. I get tired of it if it just turns into a strategic only game without the tactical battles. Got my barley field, got my warriors recruited.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and... Ooh, he could actually get the whole way there. But obviously, Thorek cannot. Let's go ahead and get him up to here. Do I want to recruit 2 more warriors? I am really going to start running low on money. 300 less, or slightly less than 300. Let's say 250 less. Obviously, I don't need them to take that garrison one. So at tier 2 greenskin, really not a difficult garrison, which is fine.
Onward.
That's fine. Let's go ahead and stay in March, because
Beards in belts.
if I stay in March mode for multiple turns, I have that chance of getting a whatchamacallit? What are these called? Abilities? Trait. Trait is what I'm looking. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. Have a chance of getting a trait if I stay in full march for multiple turns. I don't know whether that always counts or if I have to be close to an enemy or what the requirements might be. I think I'm going to go ahead and push the limits here. I'll go ahead and get a couple more warriors going. I will probably delete or demolish the sparring chamber next turn. Nothing else to do. This is a good example of how normally I would be taking Mount Arachnos this turn, and in fact this turn would be turn 2 to take Mount Arachnos, I believe, in a normal setting. But with the slower campaign movement, it's going to be turn 4. I don't think he'll be able to reinforce. Let's go ahead and just double check our diplomacy. I can make peace. Be pretty silly to do that at this point, but it's an option. So it's certainly possible that this is going to be a much less entertaining series of videos of a Let's Play. However, I do think there will be some people that this appeals to, and it certainly does appeal to me. I like epic, drawn-out things. I don't like it when the game feels like it's over in the first 25 or 30 turns. Got my research done, got my gold mine up. 700. It's going to be a couple of turns yet before I'm going to need 2,000, but let's go ahead and delete that. I need to get more growth going. I've got a strong enough army to probably take any greenskin settlement if it's not heavily reinforced by an army. Let's go ahead and get Thorek up here. See, this is obviously an example of one where I could auto-resolve it, but I'm not going to. I just don't like getting in the habit of not fighting battles. Besides, I need all the practice I can get. Probably pretty clear from the first video. So So we're already seeing the effects of slower campaign movement, slower infantry movement in battle, slower combat, which I believe, I don't remember now whether it's a reduction in melee attack or if it's increased hit points. I don't remember exactly how he did it, but definitely seeing the melee battles, part of the melee back and forth, part of the battles taking longer. Let's go ahead and keep our long beards back a little bit. Maybe give them a chance to take the fight off. The same thing with Thorek. And boy, wouldn't it be nice if I don't get my grudge throwers messed up again in this battle. What do they have? They've got one. I should have counted the archers before I clicked. 2 archers, 1 cav. I definitely can handle that, I believe. Let's go ahead and get Thorek over on this side of the grudge throwers. Let's keep a little bit of a presence on each side of the grudge throwers. Let's go ahead and get this sped up. What am I firing at? Oh, he's not even moving. He will. He will. Let's get firing at the orc boys, however. They're certainly tougher than those goblins. There we go. Alright, let's get him on defense mode. Let's go ahead and get him firing at those... No. Let's get him firing at those archers.
Dwarf warriors!
Let's go ahead and get these guys on a charge.
Move to attack! Unlock formation!
Let's get him. See, this is going to be a problem. I need to get my flank. Oh, nope, okay. I'll take that. I was afraid he was going to try to flank me with that cav, but no problem. Let's go ahead and get some armor on these guys. Let's go ahead and get an explosion going right there. Center of his line should not last too long. Left of his line should not last too long either. Let's go ahead and get grudge throwers going at the other archers there. Those archers are broken. These guys might as well hit the flank there. They're coming back, but they're going to break. Let's go ahead and get these quarrelers firing there. Those cav are going to break. Let's go ahead and get him hitting the rear. Not sure whether the morale penalties for getting hit in the rear changed at all with the slower combat mod. Come on, let's get them broken. Get them broken. Let's get some speed going here.
The runes are cast. Slay the oath breakers. Strike the runes.
Okay, all those guys are breaking. He's going to break in a minute. Let's go ahead and get him. Yeah, he might as well stay on making those archers break. Not much point, however, in chasing cavalry with dwarves. Okay, they've broken again. Other lords coming into the battle. Is the cav coming back? They are. Not for long. They will break in a moment. Let's go ahead and get an explosion. Let's get everybody out before that explosion hits me. And I already know I'm not going to get any cav run down. They don't have any heroes or lords to kill. Lost 4 dwarves. Yeah, dwarves are clearly the race that holds up well in the slower combat mod. I may have picked too easy of a race for that. However, I did want to give the mod a try out before I jumped in with both feet into a really difficult faction. Okay. Now, I know that there are some people who really feel like the dwarves need buffing. One of the main complaints that people have is that the replenishment rate is already very low, and of course I've made it worse with the mods that I'm using. I respectfully disagree. Now, I get it. It's subjective. Everybody has their own preferred way of playing, but I don't expect all the races to be perfectly balanced, which is good because they're not. But moreover, I think that races ought to be distinctive. And, you know, there are advantages to playing dwarves and there are disadvantages to playing dwarves. I really don't think of dwarves being a highly reproductive race. So I think thematically it makes sense that they do not have a good casualty replenishment. I can see that, you know, training a dwarven warrior might take a long time compared to how quickly the greenskins train, for example. Okay, so Thorek, I would think I'm going to pretty quickly want to be getting Quarrelers into his army, so I'm going to go ahead and give him a buff to them. This is an armor buff. This is a slowness buff. I think the slowness is actually something that I'm going to want. Since I'm already so slow, I can't run down anything. Okay, there will be times where that comes in useful. Now, he can go ahead and get a little bit north, but probably not too far north. I don't think I want him up here exposed by himself. Not going to do any more recruiting. I'm going to try to keep my income as close to 1,000 per turn as I can. Obviously, I could do some economic buildings like the trinket maker is a good choice, but I'm kind of tempted to still go growth. An extra 15 growth. Yeah, if I keep my army smaller, keep my army upkeep a little bit below what it would otherwise be, I can still go ahead and make money and prioritize the economic buildings second instead of first. I do want extra growth here and a reduction to construction cost. I do want to... Not really too worried about beefing up the melee attack and defense just yet. As long as I'm just fighting greenskins, I already have a pretty good advantage there. Control could be useful. Could get a little bit more income here. Yeah, I'm gonna need income. How is my... Ooh. I don't know, maybe I should have gone control +1 instead. Even though I've got my main army garrisoned here, I'm still losing 3 public order per turn. Now that's going to decrease with the provincial instability, but still I want to get this back into the green as soon as I can. An extra +1's not going to be that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and get...
Lord of the Glade.
See if there's any diplomatic things to do. There are not. I'm a little bit concerned about the bowmen down here and the lizards down here. I don't think they'll attack me, but I am using Hecleus's AI overhaul, and I would not be surprised. Nothing would surprise me. Let's go ahead and don't have the Oath Gold to do anything. We'll go ahead and advance to the next turn here. I suspect at some point we're going to get raiding happening, because I think my province extends all the way up to almost where the 2 greenskin, or maybe it's 1 greenskin and 1... Thought this was Skaven. Been a long time since I played Thorek. Yeah, he's clearly not Skaven. He's clearly actually Ruins, but being influenced by Marek here. This is the City of Dawn. I am obviously using the mod that changes the faction names dynamically, which I like. But I have not actually discovered them yet, so I can't really see who they are at war with. Nothing to do from an Oath Gold perspective, but it looks like I am now getting 4 per turn. Not entirely sure where I'm getting 4 per turn. Not from that. From this, maybe? 2 per turn. Oh, yeah, no. 4 per turn. No, 2 per turn? What else is given me? It says buildings 4. This says 2 per turn. Don't know. Not going to lose sleep over it, though. Okay, so this would be nice once I'm actually recruiting Longbeards, but that is not happening yet. I think I'm going to want to get my control up. Next turn I'll be able to level up one of these, and hopefully by the time the other one is able to go a tier up, I'll have enough money in my treasury to be able to do it.
I'm listening.
Now, can I bait him? How big is his... He's got 8 units. I'm not going to be able to bait him this turn. So I can... He's not going to come out with only 8 units. So I'm going to go ahead and run Thorek all the way up here. I can actually see his army now. That's good. Can't see what's in it, though. Let's go ahead and get him. This will be 4 turns in a row now that he's been in March stance. Wonder if there's any chance he could get the trait. Overseer, I think, is maybe the name of the trait. Okay, nothing more to do there, and we're at 130. Lower middle of the pack. And nothing to do diplomatically. I am kind of leaving this area undefended. Don't really worry too much that I'm going to get attacked down here just yet. Let's see what happens. And in the short time that I have left in this recording, I think it's unlikely I'm going to get another battle in. But I'm going to try to bait Arachnos out, because I have a feeling I didn't look at the size of the garrison last time. Ooh, that was nice. A seam of star metal has been discovered, an extra 2,000 gold. I'll take that. Yeah, okay, so his garrison is 13 units in addition to... He's now up to 13 there, so 26. I probably could take that with my current army if I could reach it this turn, but I can't. So, what we're going to do instead is go into ambush stance.
What?
I'm going to try to bait him out. I don't actually know how far he can come, but probably to about here, or he could obviously use the underway to come down here, but I don't think he'll do that because he can't raid if he uses the underway. So let's go ahead and get Thorek in a good ambush place. Is there anything he can do that's greater than 50%? Definitely not within reach, and probably not at all. And so then we will go ahead and get him.
One rug.
In a place where Thorek could pull off an ambush if I get really lucky, but it is fairly unlikely. Let's go ahead and check out how the City of Dawn is doing. They are only at war with Labaris, who I have not discovered yet.
You called?
Nobody wants to have anything to do with me, which is not very surprising. I can do a building upgrade. I think I can upgrade my secondary settlement here. Which one do I want to do? Mount Arachnos has a resource, but I'm not really in any hurry to get exotic animals, so I'm going to do Lost Plateau and probably try to get my barracks back up here. Unless I decide that I need money. I can't really afford Thorek right now, nor do I really need... Or not Thorek, Gotrek, is that his name? Yeah, Gotrek and Felix. Don't really need them right now, can't really afford them right now. Next turn I'll be able to do a little bit more with my Oath Gold. And let's cross our fingers and hope this works. If I do get attacked and I get an ambush off, I will go ahead and fight it in this video. Fingers crossed. He's not going to be able to reach me anyway. Don't know what I was thinking. I didn't even notice his turn go by. I'll have to pay more attention next time. Okay. However, at stack size 18, he very well may come out next time.
On we go.
Let's go ahead and
For the wisdom of the
really quickly here, leave him in march stance, because I think that's going to be a more
If you want something done right,
more appealing bait. I don't really know whether the AI would consider that more appealing or not, but could try it, because I really would like to wipe out this army in a non-settlement battle. I do not think I'm going to be able to take on 13 plus a full stack. Be a tough nut to crack. Let's go ahead and now I think we'll do income from settlement or control. I'm going to do some control. Might as well try to keep things balanced. And one last look at diplomacy. This will be my last intern for this video, with or without a fight. And pay attention to what number he is. There he is, 196. And here he comes. And, yeah, ambush failed. Now, I can fight him outside his settlement, which is good. I'd rather not have to deal with the city walls and towers on top of everything else. By the way, another mod is I slowed down the ladder climbing by 50%. That is obviously a stack that I could beat one-on-one with my 17 units, but probably the combination is not something that I can beat, but that will be something for next time.